You ever look at the Chargers roster and think, man, this is going to be one of the hardest 53-man cutdowns we've seen in years? Because that's exactly where I'm at right now. And trust me, I've covered a lot of these over the years. This one, it's different. But before going further, let me ask you a question. If you had to keep just two out of Dean Leonard, Tony Jefferson, and Triquz Bridges, who are you cutting? That's a real debate this year. Let me know in the comments, because I'm telling you, I changed my mind 5 times just while putting this video together. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. So, here we are. It's July. Chargers football is literally this month. The Hall of Fame game is coming up fast. The uniforms are about to be revealed, and training camp is just days away. But even with all that excitement, we're looking at one of the tightest, most chaotic 53-man rosters we've seen in the past decade. And I don't mean chaotic in a bad way. This isn't one of those off seasons where the bottom of the roster is filled with dead weight and undrafted camp body. This time, we've got guys who actually deserve to make the team, but they won't, because there just isn't room. Let's start with the position group that's keeping me up at night, the secondary. Cornerback is loaded, and not just at the top. We know Donte Jackson and Cam Hart are your outside guys. Benjamin St-Juste is your veteran presence who gives you flexibility and physicality. But then it gets complicated. Jawser Taylor, Dean Leonard, Triquz Bridges, they're all fighting for what's likely 2 spots, maybe 1, depending on how the safety group shakes out. Jawser Taylor is the wild card here. A few months ago, I would have penciled him out of the picture entirely. I didn't think he'd shown enough, but now, the new staff is talking about him like he's having one of the best off seasons of any corner on the roster. He's versatile. He can play inside. And most importantly, he's a special teams contributor. That last piece might be what locks him in. Then you have Dean Leonard. Great on special teams. That's been his calling card. But he's been dealing with hamstring issues again, which is concerning because that's what derailed him last year too. There's only so many chances you get before availability becomes a deciding factor, even if you're talented. And finally, there's Triquz Bridges, the rookie. Physically, he fits what the Chargers want. Big, long, physical at the line, but he's raw. He doesn't have the special teams background of Leonard, and he's not as proven in the slot as Taylor. So where does that leave us? I think Taylor's in. The staff clearly likes him, and special teams value matters. Then you've got to choose between Leonard and Bridges. Now, some people are going to say, keep the draft pick, Bridges. But look at what this staff did with Cornelius Johnson. They had no issue cutting a recent draft pick if the fit wasn't there. And Bridges hasn't shown enough yet. So as of today, I'm keeping Dean Leonard, cutting Bridges, and hoping he makes it back on the practice squad. Now, let's talk safeties. You've got Derwin James, Alohi Gilman, Elijah Molden. Those 3 are locks. But then comes the next decision. Tony Jefferson or RJ Mickens, or maybe both. Here's where it gets tough. Mickens has upside. He's rangy, has athleticism, and fits that free safety mold you want, but he's never played in the NFL. Meanwhile, Tony Jefferson was flat out dependable down the stretch last year. The guy was on the field in meaningful playoff snaps. He showed up, stayed healthy, and gave this team real value. So, are you cutting that for a rookie who's still figuring things out? I don't think you can. And more importantly, I don't think Jefferson sticks around if you do. Last year was a comeback story. This year, teams know he can still play. If you cut him, someone will pick him up. Period. That means you're probably keeping 5 safeties. And that creates a domino effect, because now you've got to start sacrificing depth somewhere else. Now, let's shift to the defensive line, specifically defensive tackle, another room that's suddenly crowded. Your top 3 are obvious. Tier Tart, Deshaun Hand, and Jamari Caldwell. After that, things got interesting. Justin Eboigbe, Otito Ogbonnia, Naquan Jones, they're all in the mix. And the battle between Ogbonnia and Jones might be the toughest decision on the entire defense. Here's the deal. Ogbonnia played over 500 snaps last season. That's starter-level usage, but the tape, inconsistent. His grades dropped as the year went on, and he struggled against the run, plain and simple. Naquan Jones, on the other hand, didn't play as much, but when he did, he was effective. Higher grades across the board, better run defender, more versatile pass rush tools. So what do? Stick with the guy who knows the system and was your starter last year? Or roll the dice on a veteran who might be more productive in fewer snaps? For me, I'm sticking with Ogbonnia. I know it sounds crazy, but the volume of snaps matters. This staff played him over guys like Tart in big moments. That means something, and I think they're going to give him 1 more year. to prove he can hold up. And moving to linebacker, it's easy. You've got Denzel Perryman, Junior Colson, Troy Dye, Diane Henley, and Delshon Phillip. That's your 5. No extra bodies, no developmental guys. Just 5 dudes who can play, and at least 3 who can contribute on special teams. Edge rusher is just as straightforward. Khalil Mack, Bud Dupree, Tuli Tuipulotu, and Kyle Kennard. That's it. No Morris Brash, no Garmin Randolph. The upside just isn't high enough to keep 5 here, especially when you need extra spots elsewhere. Now let's move over to the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback is a little spicy. Justin Herbert and Taylor Heineke are obviously in. But what about Trey Lance? Look, I get the appeal. He fits Greg Roman's offense on paper. Big arm, athletic, can run the RPO game. But let's be honest, he's quarterback 3. He's not starting. He's not even backing up. And this team needs every single roster spot. You're not keeping a third quarterback just because he fits a scheme. If they really believed in him, he'd be fighting Heineke for the quarterback 2 spot. He's not. So I'm cutting Trey Lance. If he gets claimed, so be it. There's no room for charity work on this roster. Running back is another battle to watch. Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton, and Hassan Haskins are locked in. That 4th spot, that's a war between Raheem Rocket Sanders and Kamani Vidal. Sanders has potential. He has power. The staff seems to like him. But Vidal offers more versatility. He's the better receiver. He has more burst. And he's been in the building longer. You've invested more into his development. Right now, I'm taking Vidal. But this is one of those true training camp battles that could flip at any moment. If Rocket Sanders comes out hot in the preseason, this could go the other way real fast. Fullback is easy. It's Scott Matlock, and honestly, it's not even a debate. I know people got cute with Steve-O Klotz in the offseason, but let's not overthink this. Matlock played over 700 snaps last year. Offense, defense, special teams. He improved every single week and showed he can handle fullback duties in a real NFL offense. Klotz isn't as versatile, isn't as physical, and doesn't offer the same special teams value. He's a practice squad candidate. Matlock's a lock. The tight end is set too. Tyler Conklin, Will Dissly, Tucker Fisk, Oronda Gadsden. Fisk, in particular, is getting disrespected by some fans. His tape doesn't lie. He was a top 15 run blocker by the end of the season. He moves bodies in the power run game, and that's what this team wants to do. If you want your pass-catching guys to work, Gadsden, Conklin, you need a Fisk on the field to do the dirty work. Don't let the lack of fantasy points fool you. This guy is valuable. Wide receiver is a little tight, but mostly straightforward. Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, Trey Harris, Darius Davis, and Keandre Lambert-Smith make the cut. That's 6. Brendan Rice is out. The hype was fun, but the production never came. And as for Jalen Rigor, he's a camp placeholder. That's it. Once the injured guys are back, he's gone. Finally, the offensive line. Starters are obvious. Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Mekhi Becton, and Joe Alt. Then you've got 3 backups, Trey Pipkins, Andre James, and Jamari Salyer. And then, of course, your specialists, Cameron Dicker, J.K. Scott, and Josh Harris. No surprises there. So that's 53. And I'll be honest, it wasn't easy. There are legit good players not making this team. Trey Lance, Triquz Bridges, Steve-O Klotz, maybe even Naquan Jones or Raheem Sanders, depending on how things shake out. But that's the sign of a healthy roster. So, the Harbaugh effect is real. This team is tougher, deeper, and more competitive than we've seen in years. These roster battles are going to matter, not just for depth, but for who plays on Sundays.